Hey Capricorn, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Allie and I'm so grateful to be spending this precious time with you today. I hope you've been taking excellent care of yourself. And I would like to just check in with you and see what you need to know, what your spiritual team would like to bring forward for you. So I've already prayed and meditated over this reading, and I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera view, and we're just going to get started. See what you need to know. All right. I am really enjoying working with this Violet Aveline deck. She created this for Modest Mouse, I believe. And it's one of my favorite decks, and I love using it on the channel. So I hope you enjoy it too. Thank you, Spirit Team. What is the overall energy for this reading for Capricorn? Please and thank you. Overall energy for this reading for Capricorn, please. What do you want them to know? Yeah, this Eight of Cups keeps popping up here. So what are you walking away from, Capricorn? What is the overall energy of this reading for Capricorn, please? Oh, it's these two. Okay. Thank you. We have the Fool at the bottom of the deck. Walking away from something to start something new. We have the Hermit and the Page of Pentacles. Well, this is fun energy. Yeah, you're definitely starting something new. Something that I think you've had to spend a lot of time being pretty introspective on. Really going inward. Yeah, no one else can make this decision for you, I'm hearing. And you've had to really focus. You've had to just tune out the world. I mean, this card literally says that. You've had to tune out the world. You've had to go within, reflect, think about, are you ready for the amount of dedication this new step will take? Are you ready for that, the endurance of that? Are you ready for the changes that are needed? But you have matured somehow. Not somehow. I mean, you have been maturing. You're always mature, Capricorn. Let's be real. You had to learn how to be mature at a very young age. That's part of why you chose to come here and embody this Capricorn energy. But I think there's been an even deeper maturation period that you have gone through, maybe the last 3 years. Particularly where you've really had to go within and you've really had to be dedicated. I mean, here's the thing. You're already a mature person. You're inherently mature. You're inherently dedicated. These are hallmark things that make a Capricorn. But it's like this deeper, like it's maybe it's the deepest you've ever gone. It's the deepest you've ever gone. And when I look at this moon here on this Page of Pentacles card, when I look at it, I think of the sun setting, which is interesting because with the Page of Pentacles, it feels like you're taking a dedicated step on a new path. And that Eight of Cups kept popping up. So there's something, the sun is setting in a particular area of your life, and you are ever climbing, still climbing. And I'm not saying that because you're a Capricorn. I'm saying that because the individual on the Page of Pentacles is literally climbing a mountain. I mean, this is so... Yeah, there's a certain chapter, there's a certain period of your life that the sun is setting on. And you have had to really go inward and be very introspective to figure out what the new chapter is going to look like. How dedicated do you feel like being to this new chapter? Is it what you really want? Can you do it? Do you want to do it? Let's get some further information, please. More clarity on this reading for Capricorn. Oof. A beautiful card, but one that I have to cover nonetheless. The Selkie. And, you know, if you're catching most of these readings I'm posting here lately, oh, and we have the white owl at the bottom. Fascinating. I keep repeating the same thing in that I am unfamiliar with the meanings of these cards in the Dreamscape Oracle, but it's really been speaking to me lately. So we're going to read from the book. The Selkie is page 51. That could be significant for someone. And I'm going to cover the page here because it's quite graphic for YouTube. The meanings: feeling like your freedom is compromised. There is a loss of self-control. In Scottish mythology, Selkies are shape-shifting creatures who can change from seals to humans by shedding their skin. Myths say that if a man finds a female Selkie's discarded skin, they can marry the Selkie while she's in her human body. The man hides the skin, trapping her against her true nature, never allowing her to return to the sea and her kin. The only way for a Selkie to receive her freedom is to find and take back her skin. Male Selkies are unusually handsome and lure women to them. They are also where we get the myth of the merfolk. I was just about to say this kind of gives me mermaid or like the Little Mermaid vibes. I mean, I understand that the Little Mermaid is very romanticized in the way the story is told from Disney, and you know, Ariel wants to be a human and marry the prince and all that, but that's what it was giving me, that feeling. Maybe you have some kind of connection to that story or that movie. But this is kind of interesting. So have you worried? I kind of get two energies. Have you worried that if things change, you will lose you worry you will lose your freedom? Or do you feel like this challenging 3 to 5 year period you've been in, I'm actually kind of getting like 2020 vibes for some people, like 2020 on. Do you feel like your freedom has been challenged where you've been at, and you need to, and the sun is setting on that, and you're over it, and you're tired, and you have been going inward to find a new path, climb a new mountain? Let's see. I'm going to pull some tarot, but I just remembered when I sat down, they wanted me to get some runes for you. So we have Fehu. Let's get one more. Yeah, it's definitely this one. And I think this is Nathes. Pretty sure it is. Yeah, duty, restraint. Yeah, Fehu. Wealth, luck, abundance, energy, fertility. And then we have Nathes with resistance, effort, delays. I'm not really surprised to see that, honestly, because I feel like this is what you've been going back and forth on. And isn't that essentially the story that we just read about the Selkie? There's a desire. There's a want for this energy met with restriction, delays, effort to get their skin back, what belonged to them back. Fascinating. Thank you, Spirit. Can we have some more clarity, please, with the tarot? More information for Capricorn in this reading, please. I'm also getting this feeling of like a longing for freedom, but this feels like in many different ways. financial freedom, physical freedom, mental freedom, more freedom to do the things that you desire instead of hustling away. All right. More clarity, please, for this reading for Capricorn. Thank you. We have Knight of Swords. Okay. We have King of Pentacles. What else, please? More clarity, please. Thank you. More clarity, please, for Capricorn. Thank you. Ooh, look at that. 3 of Cups and Ace of Pentacles on the same side as the Fehu rune. Okay. 10 of Wands and 9 of Pentacles. I mean, it's so fascinating how they have these things laid out here because it's very split down the middle. We have 9 of Pentacles over here with 3 of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. We have 10 of Wands over here with the King of Pentacles and Knight of Swords. And so, and then the Chariot at the bottom to just really, the Lord of Triumphant Light, to really kind of hammer home this feeling of things are moving. The sun is setting on an old chapter. You've made a decision to, I want to say, like, boldly move forward, to do something differently. But it took a lot of introspection to decide that you wanted to do this. I think this new move is going to directly affect your finances, quite frankly, because we have 9 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and 3 of Cups. I mean, the 3 of Cups here on in this particular deck says Lord of Abundance. Let me show you. Lord of Abundance. Okay. And now abundance doesn't just mean financial resources. We can have an abundance in our relationships, an abundance in our freedom, and how free we feel to be able to go out and do the things we want to do, tinker with things, build things, create things, just go take a walk, But I think you have been grinding really hard for a while to make your reality feel stable. And I think it has exhausted you. And at this point, you have been, interesting. What I heard was putting feelers out. So maybe just trying to communicate with other people, find a different way to work, like a smarter, not harder kind of a situation, but also that is more like abundant, that offers more resources so you have more time. And honestly, one of the things that my husband says that has always stayed with me since he told it to me years ago, because it was just an epiphany moment, and he's a Capricorn, so it makes sense that this is coming up here for me, that time is our most valuable resource. It's not money, next to health, it's time. Because if we don't have good health, none of this really matters. But time is the most valuable resource next to that. And it's like, yeah, I had never really thought about it in that way. And since then, I kind of hold that in my mind a lot. How can I have more time for the things that are most important to me? It kind of helps me organize my brain, quite frankly. I have been diagnosed with ADHD, and it's not medicated. And I'm an adult diagnosed person. So I already kind of had like my own way of balancing things and scheduling things. And I've had to learn to get really, really good at that. in order to make, over the last several years since he said that to me, I don't know, it really helped me view my life in a different way. And I think you probably live your life that way, quite frankly. I think you are very cognizant of time, of the sun setting on our life, in a sense, you know, of wanting to have time to do the things that you really desire, and also have an abundant, resourceful material world that allows for more time to do the things you want and spend time with the people you want, the things that matter. So this feels like this is what you've been doing. This is what you have been working towards, what you have been reflecting on, spending time. Like, I don't want to be chasing my meat suit around. I don't want to give the most precious parts of me away in exchange to just have some kind of physical stability. Yeah, of course that's important, but there's more. There's more to life. And I think you realized maybe you had just kind of been focusing on this material side of financial security, physical security, and time has been ticking by. And so it's like, okay, I've got to, in this sense of what are my most valuable resources? How can I work smarter and not harder? What can I do? Who can I reach out to? What can I change? A new mountain to climb. Okay, this makes a lot of sense to me. Can we have more information? So what is this new mountain to climb? What is coming up? What's the new mountain? Can we have some information on that, please? And thank you, Spirit. I do think, I want to say, you know, I'm recording this. Thank you. I'm recording this in May, and it's Taurus season. It's about to move into Gemini. And I think by Cancer season, your life is going to look very different. In fact, I may have said this in your last Capricorn reading. It's been so long ago. I mean, it's been so many readings since then, but it just popped into my brain. Did I say this for you in the last one? Something was going to be, you're going to be fully doing something by Cancer season? Maybe. I remember saying that for someone, and it may have been you. But I'm feeling that now because you had the Chariot at the bottom of the deck, and the Chariot is connected to Cancer. Ace of Wands. I said, what is the new thing? What's the new mountain? We have Ace of Wands and Justice. Let me sit with this a minute. Wow. Well, the new thing's a whole lot more balanced than what you've been doing. And you're excited about it. You feel passionate about it. You feel like you are really going on a new adventure. I feel like you feel like you have been preparing for this for lifetimes, is what I'm hearing. And it does require you to be a lot more structured. You know how I was just talking about, you know, my brain and how I've had to come up with my own organizational system and my own system of schedules and being structured so that time doesn't get away from me. And whatever this is going to require that. But I think you know how to do this beautifully. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot more balanced than what you've been doing. What you had been doing was just grinding. And I get this energy of like, how am I doing this much work with so little anything else? Like maybe the resources were just enough. Maybe the time to do what you enjoyed was just barely cutting it. It was like, how am I working this hard for essentially not that much? It's man, that's a heavy energy you've been in for a minute. I feel like whatever you were doing also allowed you, I don't know if allowed is the right word, but essentially like you spent a lot of time in your own head. So maybe you were doing something where you just didn't talk to people a lot. It was kind of a solitary thing. You spent a lot of time alone where you were just left to be in your own head. But it was almost like a survival thing. Like you had to be very focused on just this one thing, just grinding, just doing. And it just was like, man, I can't do this anymore. Like I'm overburdened. I'm worn out. Maybe you felt like your body was even falling apart from this, because that's the energy I get. So this new thing we have, it's a passionate new beginning. I mean, passionate. You feel amped up about it. You feel excited. You're ready to take on the challenge. It's going to be work, but it's going to be fair and balanced. And what you get in return from the work that you're doing is going to be so much more balanced than where you had been. Again, with the Chariot. Lord of the Triumph of Light. Yeah, by Cancer season, I feel like you're going to be fully in this. It's coming in quickly. And again, more of this balanced energy. It's going to feel like coming up for air is what I think. What else on this new path? What else, please? Thank you. 8 of Wands. Yeah, fast. So maybe you've been waiting on some communication from someone, like an example that feels like the most probable example. It doesn't have to be this, would be switching jobs. And so maybe you've been waiting on communication and you found something that feels like it might be a little bit more challenging for you, but also will allow for more time, more freedom, more resources, and just like a more of a feeling of having yourself back. Like at first the Selkie card was a little like, I'm a little confounded. How does this go in the reading? And now it's like, there could be no other card here, because it talks about her being separated from her skin, from being able to move freely between the different facets of herself, and having to fight to get, her skin back, that other part of her. And this allows, this new thing that's coming in quickly allows for you to have all parts of yourself and then some. I'm hearing parts that have been inaccessible to you for a very long time because they were taken or given away to a different job or a different person, a different situation, maybe just life in general. But it does feel like career seems like the most likely, and not just because you're a Capricorn. I don't want you to think that, oh, it's a Capricorn reading, it must be about work. I promise that's not it. This is just the energy that I'm feeling here. That would probably be the most likely scenario, is switching to a different career that feels a lot more expansive, that gives back to you more, that's more balanced than you just grinding away. Let's see. What else? Anything else that I might be missing here? What else is this new start going to look like, Spirit? This new start for Capricorn, please. Ooh, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's secure. It's steady. This says Lord of the wild and fertile land. I mean, there's growth opportunities here. It feels like this is the direction you're supposed to be moving in. You're supposed to be moving this way. You're supposed to be growing this way. It allows for you to have more time to even like study things that are interesting to you for fun, to delve more into esoteric practices, I'm getting for someone. To grow different facets of your being that there was no room for them before. There was no room to grow in these areas. Now there will be. Even emotionally, I feel this growth in your emotional body. 5 of Pentacles. I mean, you just had nowhere to go. There was nowhere to grow from there, and now you can grow. And this is a really interesting 5 of Pentacles, because essentially the energy of a 5 of Pentacles is, being out in the cold, not having security, not having enough, worrying how you're going to put food on the table or pay your bills. So of course there wouldn't be room to grow, but look here, there's a sprout coming from here. It's a very interesting 5 of Pentacles card. Things are growing where there hadn't been space to grow before. And I get this feeling even of health improving. So if you've had any kind of health stuff, I mean, I'm not a doctor. I am a nurse, but I'm not diagnosing you. If you have health stuff going on, see someone that, is licensed and you trust. But I'm just saying, like, there could be an improvement in that area if there's been issues there. Anything else that I'm missing here for Capricorn spirit? Anything else? 4 of Pentacles. I feel like you are in a place where you're surrendering. It's a very complicated energy, actually, because I think in certain ways you have kind of taken the reins and you are making something happen to improve your life, and simultaneously surrendering that what will be will be. What's going to happen is what's going to happen. Knowing that, you're going to climb the mountain anyway. But can I make it better? Can I make it feel better? Can I make it more exciting, more expansive, easier? Yeah, 6 of Cups. It says Lord of Pleasure. Things you didn't have time to enjoy before, you're going to have time to enjoy. I'm excited for you. This feels really good. And I think this reading feels like they're saying, this is the way. You're on your way. You deserve to have this lucky, abundant energy that has been stagnant for so long. And I really want to get you, like, to put a cap on this reading for you. I want to get you one of these animal cards, and we'll probably read from the book, because the book is so good with these cards. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Can we have a final message for Capricorn to put a cap on this reading for them? Wow, that came out fast. 41 whale. And look at this. Selkie and whale. There is something with you and these ancient water creatures. Okay, we're going to read this. Number 41 reduces to a 5, which is about change. All right. Record keeper. Wow. Whale is very much like a swimming library. Whale carries the history of Mother Earth and is said to have been placed here by the ancients from the dog star Sirius. Biologists say that whale is a mammal and very possibly lived on land millions of years ago. In tribal legend, whales move into the ocean happened when the earth shifted and Lemuria, the motherland, went below the waves. All of our petroglyphs speak of the motherland, Mu, and the disaster that brought the red race to North America from the west beyond the great waters. The symbols in the petroglyphs speak of the rivers and mountains crossed by our ancestors when they sought solid ground as the water receded. Whale saw the events that led to the settling of Turtle Island, which is North America, and has kept the records and knowledge of the motherland alive. It is said that Mu will rise again when the fire comes from the sky and lands in another ocean on Mother Earth. The native medicine people are waiting for this event as the next sign of Earth changes. Earth's children will have to unite and honor all ways and all races in order to survive. Whale medicine people are coded in their DNA to understand that sound frequencies can bring up records and the memories of ancient knowledge. They are usually clairaudient or able to hear both very low and very high frequencies. They are usually also psychically developed and fairly telepathic. Many times, however, they are not awakened to their gifts until it is time to use the stored records. Many whale medicine people are able to tap into the universal mind of Great Spirit and have no idea how or why they know what they know. Only later, when they receive confirmation, do they begin to understand how they know or why they receive the impressions. Whale medicine teaches us to use the sounds and frequencies that balance our emotional bodies and heal our physical forms. To recall why the shaman's drum brings healing and peace is to align with Whale's message. The drum is the universal heartbeat and aligns all beings heart to heart. If you pulled the Whale card, you are being asked to tap into these records and to allow yourself to be sung to by those who have the original language. We are the only creatures who do not have our own unique cry or call. Find yours. Allow your voice to use this sound to release tension or emotion. Whale signals a time of finding your origins, of seeing your overall destiny as coded in your DNA, and of finding the sounds that will release those records. You may never be the same again. After all, you are the melody of the universe, and the harmony is the song of the other creatures. In using your voice to open your memory, you are expressing your uniqueness and your personal sound. As you open to this uniqueness, the animals that are your 9 totems may then send their sounds or calls to you or through you. This will open your personal records so that you may further explore your soul's history and commune with Whale, who carries the history of us all. Interesting. I'm curious how that resonated with you. I feel that this is a very ancient energy that you carry. I also feel like you're very connected, just as we read, to sound, to music, to healing frequencies, vibrations. And I think you've had an intuitive knowing throughout this reflection period of what you needed to do. You just needed time to get there and for it to feel right for you. But this is what I see for you. I see a really beautiful shift and expansion and a coming back to yourself after a very long, hard time of grinding. And this new chapter that you are about to take on is exciting. It is exciting, and it gives you more of yourself back, finally. Okay, this is what I had for you. Thank you so much for spending your precious time with me, Capricorn, and letting me read your beautiful energy. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can always find that at my website at theseaowl.com. It's also in the description box below. If this resonated for you, please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment and let me know how it resonated. You can hype videos now. And these are all great ways to help other people find the videos that it might resonate for them and to just help this channel grow. I love you so much. I'm sending you so much positive, heart-centered energy as you move forward. And please take excellent care of yourself, Capricorn, and I will see you soon. Bye.